evening, good morning, good afternoon, because I know people are attending from across the globe. So somebody might be in the late evening, somebody at early morning or maybe afternoon. So I'm Praveen Tomar. I'm currently working as a technology lead. It's a low code automation department for Office for National Statistics. It's a UK government department, and I have roughly around 20 years of experience. First 10 years primarily into as a programmer, Java programmer and coder. But last I would say probably 9 to 10 years is heavily into automation, and last 6 years is especially in low code automation, intelligent automation. So I will talk about low code automation in detail anyway. And also I want to keep this my presentation very lightweight because I know there are some students as well. So I would start from the very basic, and I also want to share some lesson learned in my automation journey, not the successful implemented project, but the project which failed miserably. So this is a lesson learned for everyone, and I believe strongly believe in sharing lesson learned with everyone, because I don't want you to fail and suffer the way we have suffered in one of our programs. So this is okay. So let me quickly jump onto the presentation. Sorry, give me a moment. Oops, sorry. Yeah. So let me start with what is low code automation, right? And it's been quite a buzzword in industry from last 5 to 6 years, and everybody is talking about low code automation. I want low code automation, and we want to build something in low code automation. We want to bring in process efficiency and effectiveness through low code automation. And this you might be seeing, along with cloud, you might be seeing this low code automation is in pretty much in every CTO or CEO's key deliverables or their in KRAs, right? So key result areas. So what's the benefit of low code, and why do we need low code? So let's pay attention to this figure, right, which is on the bottom left hand side of the corner of the slide. So you see that there are codes, right? You can see that typical coding, like like a Python programming, Java programming, or any programming language. You have to practically write codes, maybe 1,000 line, maybe 500 lines of code to run any program. And then move on to the next, which is low code platform, right? You can see that the circle is divided into partially into codes and partially into graphical flow diagrammings, right? So which is combination of some, you need to have some knowledge of programming, and plus if you have very basic knowledge of programming, that's absolutely okay, but the rest of the thing can be used by drag and drop interface and functionality and complete your automation, right? So that is called low code automation. And then third thing we have is a no code automation. Practically, you even a business user, right, who has never done any coding or programming in their entire life, still they can build some automation, right? Some basic automation at least. And the latest example is Chat GPT, right? You can ask them to scrape the data from a web page, let's say from Yahoo Finance. It can nicely scrap and put it into the Excel sheet and will send out email as well. So which I have tried by myself, and it is working absolutely fine, flawless, right? So even if person who has never done any coding programming, they can also build automation solution. And that's the purpose, and that's the logic, that from last few years there is a lot of emphasis on low code automation. And specifically I'm going to talk about my topic around robotic process automation, which is a short form we call it RPA. There are various other platforms as well, but my focus would be on RPA. So this is industry, one of the most demanding skill set in the market. If you go if you search it on LinkedIn or Indeed or any popular website in UK, this is the job profile where you will get maximum number of posts. So first of all, okay, fine, the low code, okay, fine, it can do a lot of things, but why do we need low code automation, right? There is already a lot of automation. There is already a full-time programmer, enterprise grade software developers are already available. Why do we need low code automation, right? So there are certain pointers, right, which addresses that. Why do we need low code automation? It's very easy to learn, right? Anybody, even the business users, as I mentioned, right, person who is in finance, who has never done any coding programming, or who never studied computer sciences in universities or colleges, they can also build small automation solution and deploy it without help of their core IT department. And it can also allow you to integrate your legacy systems like Oracle Fusion, IBM mainframe, or IBM DB2, or any legacy organizations specific systems which nobody can have access, and probably there are no programmatic way to connect with those systems through APIs or any other way. So but low code automation is specifically RPA can help with graphical user interface and can help you to automate those in legacy systems as well. And it can be built very quickly. So if you compare it with, let's say, a Java-based program or fully functional front-end website or application, right? This will take probably 6 months, 1 year, or maybe 2 years time. But this RPA solution or the low-code solution can be built in weeks or sometimes maybe in a days as well. So that's the beauty or advantage of it. You can build it quickly, you can assemble it quickly, and you can decommission it as well very quickly. So getting them onboarded or getting them offboarded is very easy, very simple, very quick. And also the cost, very, very low maintenance cost, practically does not require anything. Let's say even if you have to reconfigure the code, you just need to tweak some lines or maybe some flow diagrams here and there. And also this is raising a concept of the citizen developers, right? So it is democratizing the low code automation development platform. Anybody can build the bot. Anybody, when I say bot or the robot, we use these words quite interchangeably. So this is it is giving power to everyone, right? Not only limited to the software programmer, developers, or the software engineers. So that's the beauty of this low code platform. And it also helps in terms of improving the productivity. And it's very, very easy to build. And also it is helping to bridge the divide, which generally happens between IT team and the business user. So sometimes when business user need to build a small piece of automation or a small piece of process digitization, they need to go to IT team, and IT team will give them a bill of, let's say, £1 million, right? To if they want some front end to be tweaked or changed or upgrade or update. But with this kind of systems, they can do it by themselves. Not there is no need to spend £1 million. Probably they can do it in £10,000, right? So that's the beauty. And quickly moving to the next slide. Fine. So these are the benefit, but what kind of business problems are low code specifically? I'm talking about RPA can solve it for me or for anyone. So specifically, if you see the pointers here are just you can say opposite to the pointers which we have discussed. This is very easy to build, or it's very low complex in nature, and it does not require a lot of third-party system tools or integration or middleware system to automate. And also it can address your high cost of automation, right? Because low code automation, RPA automation solutions are pretty much very cheap compared to a traditional enterprise grade software application development. Okay, now quickly moving to the next slide, without spending too much time on what are the key benefits. What kind of use cases? What are the real life example of robotic process automation or the low code automation, which we can automate? And this is, I'm talking about the business process perspective, like the business operation perspective, right? Which are the processes? And most of the processes in any organization. I'm working for a civil services, a public sector, but if you talk about any other government department or even for a bank, investment bank as well, let's say, their majority of the work is being done on spreadsheet or sending out standard emails like using Outlook or Microsoft Teams or using Gmail enterprise account, and also interacting with legacy system or some web-based application, browser-based application, or storing information on SharePoint or some cloud, or dealing with PDF file, Microsoft Team, or Word document. I would say probably 60 to 70% work are being done, is being done around these systems and applications. So anything related with, let's say, spreadsheet manipulation, or downloading some standard data or the table from the web-based application or from your legacy system and putting into the Excel, sending out those standard MI reports or spreadsheet to the larger audience, right, to the wider teams for MI reporting perspective. A human takes, let's say, probably 2 hours time, right? And also there is a dependency on human. A person, suppose in one of my a project when I was working in Florida in US, that person, that lady used to come to office at morning 6 a.m. because she's supposed to send that MI report before 8 a.m. So all the senior stakeholders, senior manager used to be in office at around 8, and they all want that report to be in their mailbox before 8 a.m. And she used to live in Polka County, which is 1.5 hour drive from the Tampa. And she used to get up every day in the morning at 3 a.m. to reach office at 6 a.m. Right. And just to run this report, which is, basically just a spreadsheet manipulation, downloading one file from the one of the, web-based application, and applying simple business logic, and preparing that report and sending out to everyone. And when I heard about this process, I said I can automate, this process in a week time, and I automated. And when I was giving demo, she was literally crying. She was saying, she was doing this work from last 9 years, and she's coming every day at morning, 6 a.m. and she every day used to get up at 3 a.m. This was such a pain, right, for people's life. And this is the biggest benefit of this low code automation, right? It's not about, having efficiency improvement or saving some FT or saving some cost. It's about making people's life easy, simple, right? And also this helps in terms of increasing employees' morale and motivation. So a person, let's say, who is doing the same work, like, just doing same mundane, repeated, rule-based work for 9 years, 10 years, there is not much in terms of motivation, right? There's not much in terms of, enthusiasm or energy to come to office. This is the work which is quite mechanical in nature, right? And should be done by the automation solution, not necessarily RPA, any other automation solution. Could be a simple macro, or could be anything else, right? So person needs to be free up with this kind of mundane, repeated, rule-based work and task, and free up their capacity, so where they can engage more, the work which is required some kind of cognitive intelligence, or more rewarding in terms of, motivation, or in terms of, financial gain as well, right? If you're being paid more for the work which is required human intelligence, cognitive intelligence, it's always satisfying, right, at the end of the day. Okay, quickly moving on to the next slide, which is fine. RPA is good. RPA can solve a lot of basic problems. It, of course, it cannot solve, complex automation or complex business processes which are required. A lot of ifs and buts, and some kind of intelligence, some kind of judgment, or some kind of human validation. But it can automate, 60 to 70% business processes which are pretty much simple, rule-based, repeated in nature in your organization. And you can see that this is the market of low code RPA is growing a lot, right? It's almost 20+% compounded annual growth rate. It is growing. In 2021, it was in roughly around 2.6 billion, and it is expected to grow roughly around 7 billion by 2025, and it is expected to cross somewhere around 24 billion by 2030. So imagine how much potential it has, right? So why not to learn this skill set? And this is directly employable skill set. You may not have degree in computer sciences, you may not have degree or masters or the bachelor in computer programming, but if RPA tool, if you know any low code platform, if you know how to code, if you have practiced enough, right, you can get a very good job in this field. And I've seen in especially in Germany, there are many. I know very lots of students who are not even high school graduate, but they are very good with RPA tool, and they are earning a very good money, right? In terms of they work as a freelance automation developer or automation engineer, and they support various Fortune 500 clients. Okay, so now fine, this is good, this is nice, right? But from where I can learn, right, these nice things? And trust me, this technology is quite new relative to any other technology. Like if you talk about Java, is there from more than 30 years. Cloud is more than from 50 years or 15 years, or maybe big data is for roughly around same time. But this RPA or the low code technology is relatively new. It's just 6-7 year old, and at this point of time, most of the training and certifications are available for free. So practically, you don't have to invest a single penny from your pocket. And these are the links which I'm showing right now on my presentation. You can click one of those. These are the popular tool in the market. First of all, like Automation Anywhere, Blue Prism, IBM, WorkFusion, UiPath. So these are most popular, I would say, contemporary RPA tool or the low code tool available in the market. You can pick any one of them which you find interesting, right? And my personal favorite among them is UiPath and WorkFusion, because UiPath is quite mature tool and mature platform, and they have a very good customer services. And WorkFusion, I like it also along with it, because it does have the component called the human in the loop functionality, right, where a process required half of the portion to be done by a low code platform or low code automation solution, and half of the portion or some portion of the process being done by the human, let's say compliance process, GDPR compliance process, or some regulatory process which are mandatory, having a requirement to have a 2i validation or 4i validation. So bot or the robotic solution can do one portion of the process, and and then hand over to a human or the process SME to complete the rest of the part of the process. Okay, so this is good, I can learn, but this is learning which I wanted to share with everyone. This is my own learning in last 6-7 years in RPA domain, specifically low code automation, that most of the RPA program or the project failing in nowadays. The reason being, the people, those who are driving these projects or the initiative, they are making a lot of mistake in selecting the use cases or the business processes for low code automation. And these are the some characteristic which I have, based on my experience, I have identified and I've sharing with all of you. So if process is linear, high in volume, high number of FT stand for full-time equivalent, means resource, human, highly standardized process, low technical complexities, like interacting with one or two systems or application, like one of the ERP system or one of the web-based system or window-based system, and high level of manual processing and high operational risk and highly structured data. This is a very, very important point, right? If data is not structured in a process, in a business process, it's very difficult to automate using low code technology. So you need to either fix the data, input data in the process through some, let's say, converting unstructured or the semi-structured data into the structure with some kind of transformation, and then you can use it, low code automation solution. And of course, another very critical, important point, last but not least, the processes and the IT systems which are being used, you are selecting for automation needs to have a stable, right? If IT application of the systems which are being used in this process, if they are unstable, if they are going for some changes or some patch upgrade or some screen upgrade or update, your RPA solution or the low code solution are bound to fail, right? Because it works on mostly on a screen interaction, right? So, okay, so this is my summary, that when you go out and do the process portfolio assessment, when you identify any business process which is suitable for automation, low code automation, which are not, if it ticks all the boxes, I mean, that is a very good use case for low code automation, RPA automation. If processes are not ticking these boxes, I mean, they are not good use cases, just drop them or redesign or re-engineer the processes to fit into automation framework, low code automation framework. Or if not, then go for some other type of automation, right? You can probably process which are required, let's say, cognitive intelligence or the interpretation or the judgment. Probably they might be more suitable, or maybe follow some kind of pattern, might be suitable for machine learning or AI kind of automation, not the low code automation. Okay, quickly moving on to the next slide then. So this is also, the lesson learned from one of my failed project, which I thought I will share it with you, so you should not get into the same trap again. So this is, with my current organization, this is what we've learned in very, very early stage, I would say, in first 1 year of our RPA automation journey. So let's talk about what went well first, right? So when we started this journey, we created, a lot of, visibility amongst the, ONS employee. First of all, ONS is a government department which, responsible for collecting and publishing statistics related to the UK's economy, population, GDP, society at national and regional and local level. So we publish lots of statistics, lots of data. We tell people about truth, right? Publishing data means truth. So we have a lot of team. We have roughly around 6,000 team members. So we created a lot of, we initially conducted lots of show and tell session. We created a lot of visibility. People were really interested. Everybody was raising hand. They have and you're shouting at us that, okay, they have business processes which might be suitable for automation. So they used to call me, Praveen, and my team members come and have a look into their business area. So we got a lot of automation opportunity. But so this was the good part. And also the bad part starts, right, when we fail to realize, we fail to identify the right use cases for automation. We picked up the opportunity which were very complex in nature. The IT systems were not stable, and there was no governance in our team at that point of time. And also we struggle with the prioritization, like which process should be automating first, right, in terms of process which are I generally suggest a 2 by 2 matrix, right? If process is low in complex and required low automation development effort, and having high benefit should be prioritized first. But we did exactly opposite, right? Because we were in the stage where we wanted to please everyone, especially senior stakeholder. We managed to successful in that, but the benefit or the impact which we have created on ground was very little, or almost, I would say, not meaningful. So that was the lesson learned. And also the dependency on the technology partner, or selecting the right automation tool. So we got this IBM tool set, IBM technology stack in ONS, which is very good. I would say I won't criticize them. It's very nice tool, but may not be fit for purpose for ONS. So we struggled with their technology, and because it was very hard to learn, and technology was, and their platform was also not stable. They were going through with some kind of experimentation. So it ended up delaying a lot in terms of delivering the automation project on ground. And also, last but not least, a couple of pointers. One is involve your information security guy as early as possible in your automation program. Because we built some solution, and as soon as we were about to launch, right, about to go into production, the same day information security came to us and say, hey, you cannot go live because you have not this automation solution has not gone through with the GDPR or the information security review checklist, right? So we have to plug out those solution at the very last stage. So because it's a low code solution, and there is always threat, there is always risk, and so it's better to involve your IA person or information security person or the cyber security person as early as possible. And another pointer which is which was very big pain for us till few months back, we just managed to rectify that one, was the scope creep. We were constantly struggling with change requests which were coming into our team for any automation solution which we are working, which is because we did not define the process properly, like what was in scope, what was out of scope from the automation use case, and that where we struggle a lot. And last but not least, we failed to execute this multi-vendor strategy. We simply relied on one vendor, which was IBM, and we had a lot of issues with their platform and technology, and we couldn't understand that, okay, if it is not working, let's unplug it and get another vendor. So that was the lesson learned. Cool. Okay, before I move on AI, I want to talk about a couple of very important and basic definitions, right? Everybody is talking about artificial intelligence, AI, and of course, with November 2022, we all know that ChatGPT has created, I would say the shockwave in the technology IT sector, right? But before we go for AI, I want to talk about two basic definitions, which is talking about what is intelligence, right? What does it mean, that word? And another definition, another very important word is human intelligence, right? Because human intelligence is just exactly opposite to artificial intelligence, right? And there is a Internet Institute in Manchester University where I live, and they have launched a program, master program and PhD program in human intelligence, so they can solve and they can build AI based solution in future, or maybe they can create a governance framework for AI in future by understanding the human intelligence. So that's and human intelligence is all about our ability to think, learn from our experience. Like if you touch a hot cup of coffee, you will burn your hand, so you will not do it again. So this is pattern, this is the lesson learned. And how you solve any problem and store that knowledge in your brain and adopt the new situations with the new kind of solution. And this is all we call it, based on our experience, we develop that intelligence, and we are trying to teach the same intelligence to the machine. So machine can mimic the action which human perform if they encounter the similar situation in future based on their past experience or the past pattern of the same problem. That is called artificial intelligence, and very well defined by IBM. It's one of the best definition, I would say. There are many definitions, but this is one of my favorite. Okay, so AI is fine, right? Everybody knows, and I'm going to do a very light touch on AI, right? I'm not going to talk about Chat GPT or nice and fancy AI. So many AI tools and technologies are available in the market. I'm going to talk about very simple thing, right? That how AI can help us, how AI can help businesses, right? The corporate world, right? Like uh, it can provide customer support, the intelligent chatbot, conversational chatbot. It can understand text, it can do NLP analysis, can do voice and face recognition. It can also understand intent and predict the intentions, right? If customer is very angry, let's say if you go to HSBC bank website and chatbot, if you start talking and if you are angry, immediately somebody will call you from your local bank, right? Or from the local branch, because they understand intent and they immediately escalate, right? And then it can help in terms of a lot of data analysis, like visualization, manipulation, transformation, data to inform meaningful insight by identifying the patterns or the similar seasonality, peaks and lows and highs in the data. And also it helps in terms of demand forecasting with predictive analytics. It can also identify frauds, especially in credit card business, right? But because there is a complex machine learning algorithm, supervised learning and deep learning, they provide to their model. So sometime whenever we all have experience, right? Whenever we do any big transaction through our credit card or online sale, immediately somebody call from the bank or send an alert, hey, we have detected some fraudulent activity from your account. Is it you who is trying to purchase something from this vendor with this amount? If you confirm yes, then only the payment goes through, otherwise it will stop it then and there itself. So that's the very good application of AI. And of course, image and video recognition, this is quite popular nowadays. Specifically, I'm talking about UK. So in UK, on all these streets, we have surveillance cameras, right? And all those images are constantly being fed back to the a network operation center, where lots of people are sitting and watching and those monitoring those camera. But obviously they are human, right? They can miss out something. But based on the geography, postcode, the type of threat in that areas they have, right? They started identifying key suspect, right? Key suspicious activities in those areas, and started sending alerts to the police or local security agencies. And of course, the last but not least and very important is predictive customer behavior, right? The e-commerce, like in Amazon, whenever you do any shopping, next time you log in again and you will see the recommendation, right, for the product and services which you have browsed it in the past or you purchased in the past. This is a very good example. Okay, quickly moving on to the what are the low code or no code AI platform, right? So AI is fine, right? You don't have to be data scientist. You don't have to be a master's or PhD or a college degree to use these platform. And this is what we have learned very recently. Roughly around 6 months back, we got this technology called IBM Watson and Workvision in our organization, and we managed to build a lot of conversational AI based chatbot. Also, a lot of intelligent documentation, image extraction, text extraction from various surveys and the documents. And so these are the two tools which we are using, and very simple, very easy to use. I would say almost just you need few weeks of training, probably 3 to 4 weeks of training to use the functionality and understand that how you train your machine learning engine. And once you are done with that, I mean, anybody can use it, right? There's no prerequisite to learn these tools and technology. Obviously, there are many other tools and platforms are available in the market. You can see that. Okay, okay, that's all I guess from my side, unless anybody has anything else, any question or any feedback for me or